Going merry. Let's go back to the humble beginnings of the Straw Hats, back when they didn't even have a ship, just dreams and a tiny rowboat powered by raw chaos and zero planning. It wasn't until the Syrup Village arc that their real journey started floating. Literally. After helping Kaya escape the claws of Captain Kuro and the Black Cat pirates, the Straw Hats didn't just walk away with good karma. They sailed away with their first real ship. Going merry. Kaya, the gentle and rich girl of the village, gifted the ship to Luffy and his crew as thanks. And this wasn't just any hand-me-down boat either. It was designed by Mary, her loyal but slightly eccentric butler, who really put his soul, and maybe some repressed trauma, into the build, design, and size. Let's talk about the Mary's design. Now, don't expect any grand blueprints or futuristic engines here. This was a ship built with love, not tech. The most iconic part? That goat-shaped figurehead. You look at it, and it's like the ship smiling at you, even while sailing through cannon fire. It gave the Going Merry a personality from day one. It didn't look menacing, but that was the point. It was a ship for underdogs, not warlords. It had this storybook vibe, something that said, yeah, we might die in 5 minutes, but we'll look adorable doing it. Now, about the size. Well, this was not a luxury cruise liner. The Going Merry was built for a small crew, 5 to 7 people tops, and even that was pushing it when you had Luffy treating the deck like a trampoline, and Zoro napping literally everywhere. And then there's the keel, the backbone of any ship. On the Merry, it was basically her Achilles heel. Once that keel cracked, it was like the ship had spinal damage. The Merry started falling apart, literally and emotionally, which, by the way, is so One Piece. Also, there were no fancy gadgets, no radar, no auto-steering, not even a decent anchor system, just a wheel, sails, and an unreasonable amount of luck. But maybe that's why fans love Going Merry so much. She wasn't overpowered. She wasn't built to survive the Grand Line. But she tried anyway. She held together through storms, cannonballs, and Luffy's stupidity. Every dent, every splinter, it all told a story. Just a second, thank you to everyone who's been with us since day one. And now, welcome to the Grand Line. Besides the epic ninja world of Naruto, we're also diving into the wild, fun, and emotional adventures of Luffy and his crew. We'll laugh, cry, and go all out together on this journey. So, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the crew. Who knows, maybe you're the missing piece we need to reach the One Piece. Next, let's get back to meeting room, lounge, and helm. This room was the heart of the Merry. And yes, it had a steering wheel, the helm, where Nami reigned supreme. She may not be the captain, but when it came to the helm, she was the queen. Luffy would sometimes try to touch it and get promptly punched into the horizon. This was also where the crew relaxed after a long day of near-death experiences. There was usually some food lying around, Usopp telling lies, and Zoro snoring like an engine. The vibe was pure chaos, but it worked. It showed off the crew's bond. No matter what madness happened outside, this little room always brought them back together. Men's room. Now this room was a whole other ecosystem. The men's quarters housed Luffy, Zoro, Usopp, and later Sanji. Think of it as a beautiful disaster. Mostly disaster. There are a total of 5 hammocks located here to sleep on. There is an emergency exit that connects to the women's room in case something should happen. It has a laundry set in the corner and each guy responsible for their own laundry. Storage room and cannon deck. At the back of the Merry, you had 2 crucial things, stuff and boom. The storage room was where they kept food, supplies, and probably several weeks' worth of meat just for Luffy. It also had gear, tools, and whatever Usopp decided was essential that week. If it wasn't edible or dangerous, it was in this room. Right above or around that was the aft cannon deck. Now don't expect marine-level firepower. This wasn't some warship. Merry had a few cannons, just enough to keep small-time enemies at bay. Against Sea Kings or a warlord, yeah, better start rowing. Women's room. Compared to the men's side, the women's quarters were like stepping into a whole different ship. Nami had her own space from early on, and later, when Robin joined the crew, they shared the room. The room is accessed through a hatch that leads to the room above. This hatch had a lock. There is an emergency exit that connects to the men's room located here in case something happens. This hatch, however, is not normally used and is usually locked. Cannon deck, fore, and anchor room. Up front, where the wind slaps you first and the seagulls always seem louder, lies the forward cannon deck and anchor room. It's not flashy, it's not a battleship, but it's got just enough boom to make sea kings think twice. The cannons here are small, kind of like pea shooters compared to the monsters the crew usually fights. Right beneath that is the anchor room, where they drop the big metal claw to stop the Mary from floating off like a daydreaming Luffy. The anchor's pulled manually, which makes perfect sense, considering everything on this ship feels handcrafted, like a DIY project powered by friendship and duct tape. Bathroom. Now, moving from the war zone to the wash zone. The bathroom. It's tiny, like blink and you miss it tiny. But somehow, it's got everything the crew needs to stay clean after a long day of beating up pirates and crashing into islands. There's no spa treatment, no rose-scented bubbles, no automatic bidet. But you know what? It works. Luffy's favorite seat. Ah yes, the most sacred throne on the ship. Luffy's favorite seat. No, it's not the captain's chair in the meeting room. It's not even a chair with cushions. It's the goat's head at the very front of the ship. That goofy little wooden ram stuck out like a hood ornament is where you'll always find Luffy plopped down with a wide grin and eyes full of sky. Nami's Mekon trees. Finally, let's talk about the orange trees. Yeah, those orange trees. They're not just cute decorations on the deck. These little guys are a slice of home, literally. Nami brought them from Kokoyasi village, where her foster mom, Belle Mare, raised her with love, discipline, and of course, citrus. Klabautermann. There's a point in the Straw Hat's journey where you stop thinking of Going Merry as just a ship. It happens quietly, almost like a ghost walking through a storm, because that's kind of what it is. In the One Piece world, there's a legend. If a ship is truly loved by its crew, it can develop a soul, a spirit called the Klabautermann. That's not just lore. The Straw Hats saw it. The first appearance happens after the Scipia arc. The Mary was wrecked, like broken ribs, busted spine, ready for the scrapyard. But overnight, someone, or something, patched her up. Usopp sees it, a small shadow with a hammer and a warm glow, fixing what shouldn't be fixable. He doesn't say anything at first, but deep down, he knows. The ship saved itself, or maybe it responded to the love the crew poured into it. Then came Enies Lobby. The Straw Hats were cornered. CP9, the Buster Call, the entire Navy. And their only ride out was gone. But guess who shows up? Not a friend, not a fleet. It's the Going Merry, sailing across the sea, through storm and flame, more broken than ever, yet somehow moving. No one steering her, no one pushing her. The keel was destroyed. She shouldn't even float, but she came anyway. That moment confirmed it. Going Merry had a will. She chose to come, because her crew needed saving. And like any Nakama would, she didn't hesitate. The Viking funeral. After Enies Lobby, Mary had nothing left to give. Her keel was shattered, her frame burned, her soul exhausted. She couldn't carry them anymore, and she knew it. That's when the Straw Hats made the hardest decision, to say goodbye. They didn't just abandon her, they gave her a proper send-off, a Viking funeral. They set her adrift and lit the flames themselves, a warrior's farewell for a ship that had fought, sailed, and felt like one of them. And then, the impossible happened again. The ship spoke. Through the voice of the Klabautermann, Mary thanked them. "I'm sorry," she said. "I wanted to go further." She told them she was happy. She knew they loved her. And in that moment, every Straw Hat broke. No battles, no villains. Just fire, waves, and memories. Thousand Sunny. After we said goodbye to Going Merry, yeah, that tear-jerking Viking funeral, the crew didn't even get time to mope around. Because boom, next arc, Water 7. Suddenly, Frankie shows up, half-naked, loud, and crying over ships more than most people cry over actual humans. And guess what? That crazy cyborg carpenter builds us the Thousand Sunny. But not just him, the entire Galley Law Company joined in. You know, Iceberg and the Water 7 pros. They basically said, you want a ship that can survive the new world? Say no more. And then they gave us this beast. Now here's the part that hits hard. Sunny isn't built from regular wood. It's made from atom wood. That legendary timber. Yeah, the one used for Gul D. Rogers' ship, the Oro Jackson. So already, the Sunny comes with pirate royalty DNA. Frankie named it the Thousand Sunny. Why? Because it sounds like you're gonna sail through 1,000 storms and still come out with sunglasses and a smile. It's not just a name, it's the dream. Full send, no fear, straight into the Grand Line and beyond. Design and size. Now compare this to Going Merry. It's like going from a cozy food truck to a full-on pirate cruise ship. Sunny is massive. Not overkill, but just right for the Straw Hats and their ever-expanding chaos. 10 members, multiple rooms, and an actual freaking dock system. Yeah, Frankie built a mini harbor inside the ship. The soldier dock system can launch a mini sub, a paddle boat, and even a bike. Man turned the ship into a portable theme park. Material-wise, again, atom wood. You don't get better than that. It's resistant to cannon fire, monster bites, and Frankie-level explosions. Basically, this ship can slap a Sea King and survive. Now for the power, cola. Yes, the fizzy stuff. Sunny runs on soda like it's a hyperactive child. Frankie literally chugs cola into the engine room and boom, you get Kuda Burst, the figurehead. Let's talk about that lion head on the bow. Some say it looks like a lion, others say it's just a very aggressive sheep. Either way, it's huge, bold, and 100% Straw Hat energy. Frankie carved it himself, and you can tell. It's proud, wild, and has just the right amount of derp in the face. And Luffy? Of course he made it his favorite spot. Just like the goat head on Mary, he climbs up there to sit, dream, and shout, "I'm gonna be king of the pirates," at passing seagulls. It's symbolic. Same habit, new chapter. After the time skip, Frankie installed searchlights in the eyes of the lion figurehead. Helm. Back on Mary, Nami was steering that poor ship with hope and vibes. But now, she's got a real helm. Modern, sleek, built with love, and cola. This control hub is top tier. Frankie and Iceberg designed it with precision. You get responsive steering, storm-level stability, and gadgets that help you read weather patterns and sea currents. No more guessing if that cloud is just rain or a Sea King fart. Anchors. Remember the old days? When Usopp had to throw the anchor like he was entering the Strongman Olympics? Yeah, no more of that. Sunny's anchors are mechanized. Press a button, and bam! Dual anchors drop fast, hard, and deep enough to hold the ship even during a seaquake. Men's and women's quarters. Let's start with the men's and women's quarters. And if you're imagining some kind of Navy-style bunkers with discipline and order, yeah, that's not how it works here. The men's quarters is basically a controlled disaster zone. We're talking about a shared sleeping area for Luffy, Zoro, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper, Frankie, and Brook. 7 grown men. 1 room. You can already smell the chaos, right? But it's not just a mess for the sake of mess. Every corner of the room sort of reflects who they are. There's Frankie's tools lying around, Zoro's sword stuck in the walls like he's marking territory, and Luffy probably sleeping on the ceiling because, well, Luffy. And poor Sanji's probably in the corner trying to make it look remotely classy. It's not perfect, but it works. The room is surprisingly spacious, comfortable, and more ventilated than the Going Merry's setup. Probably to avoid actual gas attacks from Brook's nightly jam sessions, or Usopp's mysterious scientific experiments. Now, moving to the women's quarters, and whoa, it's like you've stepped into another ship entirely. Nami and Robin don't just have a room, they have a sanctuary. The lighting's softer, the layout's smarter, and every object looks like it actually has a place. Nami's side is organized with maps and fashion magazines. Robin's area. Quiet elegance, with shelves full of ancient books and mysterious documents you're not supposed to read unless you want to be cursed for life. This room oozes intelligence, style, and just enough privacy to survive life with 7 loud crewmates. Kitchen. Now, let's talk about where magic happens. The kitchen. Sanji's kingdom. The moment you walk in, you can feel the pressure. Like, if you touch the spice rack without permission, he'll sense it from 3 islands away. This isn't your grandma's kitchen. We've got a full modern cooking station, state-of-the-art appliances, sharp knives gleaming like they're ready for battle, and a storage system that could outsmart a marine warship's logistics. Dining room. Next door, we've got the dining room. Think of it as the crew's living room, conference hall, and party zone all in one. There's a massive dining table at the center, big enough for the whole crew to eat, argue, and laugh together. This place isn't just where meals happen, it's where bonds form. Every victory toast, every strategy talk before heading into enemy territory, every shouting match about the last rice ball, it all goes down here, sick bay. Now let's switch gears to something a little more clinical, the sick bay, aka Dr. Chopper's domain. Don't let the cute deer fool you. This place is serious. After all, the crew faces enemies who can blow up mountains, so a few band-aids won't cut it. The medical bay is fully stocked. Surgical tools, medicine cabinets, IV systems, everything you need to patch up a guy who's been punched through a wall. There are proper hospital beds, not just hammocks, advanced diagnostic equipment, and even quarantine space in case Brooke brings home a ghost virus or something. Chopper's setup proves how much they've grown. This isn't the old days where he had to do surgery on a rocking table in a snowstorm. Aquarium bar. Finally, let's visit one of the most underrated spots on the Thousand Sunny, the aquarium bar. Yes, you heard right. Aquarium. Bar, two words that should never work together, but somehow totally do. This area has a huge wall-to-wall fish tank filled with sea creatures that Sanji uses for meals, meaning the kitchen's seafood is as fresh as it gets. But it's also one of the most relaxing spots on the ship. When battles are done and bellies are full, the crew chills here, watching the fish swim by like some kind of undersea TV. The library, bath. The large hut-like structure at the stern of the ship contains the bath and library. At each side of this building is a large lamp. The library, comprising the lower level of the structure, is a large circular room with numerous bookshelves and windows, and a bench encircling the whole room. Everyone but Luffy has books stored here. In the middle of the room is Nami's mapping desk, which contains the ship's log, among other things. Toward the port side is a ladder leading up to the bath. The library, according to Nami, is the brain of the Sunny. Above the library, located in the attic-like section of the building, is the bath. From the ladder in the library, one enters a front washroom with an accessible toilet before passing through a door into the actual bath. It contains a much larger bathtub than there was on the Mary. In Nami's words, taking a bath there while the ship gently rocks has the feel of a high-end spa. Crow's nest. Way up high on the mast is the crow's nest, and no, it's not for birds. It's Zoro's unofficial dojo and lookout spot. When he's not napping, he's probably lifting weights that shouldn't even exist. This place gives the crew a wide view of the sea. It's perfect for spotting danger, like enemy ships, storms, or an island shaped like a giant skull. There's even binoculars installed for a clearer look, though let's be real, Luffy probably just uses them to search for meat. The soldier dock system. Alright, let's start with something super underrated, the soldier dock system. This isn't just some random garage built into the Thousand Sunny. Nope, this thing has 6 whole channels, each with a surprise vehicle hidden inside. Think of it like opening 6 loot boxes on your ship, except these actually help you survive, not just change your avatar skin. Channel 0 gives us the Shiro Makuba Eye. It's a speedy little boat that lets you zip around the water like you're late to a pirate meeting. Not flashy, but super practical. Channel 1, Waver. This baby skims across the surface of the sea and feels like Oda just said, "Hey, let's give Luffy a surfboard with an engine." Perfect for solo scouting missions, or just impressing the crowd. Channel 2 is a fan favorite, Mini Mary 2. Yeah, it's a throwback to the Going Merry. Channel 3 dives deeper, literally. It's the Shark Submerge 3, a small submarine that's built for underwater exploration. Channel 4 is where things get spicy. Black Rhino FRU-4 is basically a combat motorcycle with ship armor. Channel 5, that's the Brachio Tank Vive, a chunky little tank that rumbles on land. When the crew isn't blasting enemies, they're probably using it for joyrides. The soldier dock system turns the Sunny into a Swiss Army knife at sea. It's not just a ship, it's an entire fleet hiding inside one vessel. Kuda Burst. Now, this one's pure chaos in the best way. the Kuda burst. It's powered by cola. Yes, cola. Frankie literally designed a jet propulsion system that drinks soda and spits out pure rocket fuel. You load it up, hit the button, and boom! Sunny goes flying into the air like it's trying out for a skydiving competition. Chicken Voyage. Compared to the drama of Coup de Burst, Chicken Voyage sounds kinda silly, and it is, but also very handy. It's a smaller scale propulsion system, used when you need a quick burst of speed to dodge danger. Rabbit Screw. Okay, now things get adorable. The Rabbit Screw is the Thousand Sunnies propeller system. And yes, it's shaped like bunny ears. Is it fast? Absolutely. Is it over-engineered? Probably. But it makes the ship glide through water like it's late for a hot pot buffet. The rabbit design isn't just for cuteness, though let's be real, it helps. The system increases Sunny's mobility, making tight turns and sudden speed boosts possible. Gaon Cannon. This one's no joke. The Gaon Cannon is a massive energy cannon hidden right in the lion's mouth at the bow of the ship. When it fires, it unleashes a concentrated blast of destruction that can wipe out enemy ships in a single shot. It runs on cola too, because of course it does. Frankie basically weaponized a soda-fueled lion head. Emperor Penguin Mode. It was used when the Sunny sailed up the knock-up stream at Delta Island, where the Pirates Festival was being held. It was used in conjunction with the Coup de Burst to fly up a certain distance of the knock-up stream. The modifications included a large blue penguin tail attached to the ship's stern, 2 yellow webbed feet attached on either side near the rear, a pair of large blue and white flippers on either side of the deck, and a blue, white, and yellow penguin head, with a crown covering the lion figurehead. Sunny Kun in One Piece. Film, Red, the spirit form of Sunny trapped in the Utah world, is transformed into a form known as Sunny Kun. In this state, it resembles an anthropomorphic lion plush toy and is capable of speech, though it has only been shown saying, "Sunny." Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.